Site C, one of the most expensive public infrastructure projects in the country, is now generating power.
Once all the generating units are online at Site C, we'll be able to power almost 500,000 homes in British Columbia.
To produce all this electricity, water upstream must first be stored in this huge reservoir.
You can say that it's a big battery. This is the storage for the dam.
To create this reservoir, 55 square kilometers of land were flooded along the Peace River, almost 3 times the size of Victoria. Farmer Ken Boone watched the water cover his land, forcing him from his home.
According to hydro, this could end up sloughing. We're not allowed to live in it anymore, so we had to move back into our guest house.
Boone's property is now wedged between the new highway and the reservoir, 140 acres of farmland gone.
Our farmland went right down almost to that far hill where the river used to flow. Now it's just water.
He fought for almost 20 years to stop Site C without success.
We knew what was coming, but to see it actually happen is really shocking and for everybody, and pretty sad for those of us who lived and knew the valley the way it used to be.
A heavy price to pay, but essential energy, argues BC Hydro.
So the demand for electricity has really gone up in the last number of years in British Columbia, and that's because of population growth, it's industrial use, and it's also electrification. So Site C is coming on at a very good time to supply them.
New technology like cryptocurrency or liquefied natural gas are heavy energy users.
A new LNG plant can use up as much as 1/3 or even 2/3 of the output of Site C then.
There are 19 proposed plants in the province, including the now approved Cedar LNG project near Kitimat, which will run on electricity.
The expansion should be paid for by the new users, and it should not be paid for by the existing users of the grid. If you don't do that, then all of British Columbians would be subsidizing these new LNG plants.
LNG plants can run on natural gas, so electrifying them will reduce emissions at the source, according to Professor Andy Hira. But he has other concerns.
There's increasing evidence from scientists that using satellite data, that there is much more leakage of methane emissions than was previously noted. Once it gets to the overseas market, there will be additional methane emissions, both in terms of pipeline and storage, and then obviously when the gas is actually burned.
Despite the rising demand for electricity in BC and beyond, Ken Boone thinks dams should no longer be an option to produce power anywhere in Canada. He believes the sacrifice is too great.
It's a real drastic change through the valley, all through 83 kilometers of river valley that all impacted, and then all the side rivers and creeks coming in. So it's quite a big footprint.
Camille Vernet, Radio-Canada, Fort St. John.